Good day, everyone. Today we'll be discussing our first module for English for academic and professional purposes that is titled Differentiating Language Used in Academic Texts from Various Disciplines. Reminders, guys, all your activities here will be recorded, but not all of them will be graded, meaning there will be tests or activities in this module which will be recorded to include plus points in your grades, but not all of them will fully affect your grades. Okay, so for example, the pretest. The pretest will be recorded, but it will be just a plus point for your recitation, for instance. It will not fully affect your grade in the subject. Okay, also during activities, you may pause the video to give you more time to answer the activities, and then afterwards you may check them. Okay, so let's begin. The initial pages of our module, guys, as you can see, is the same with your other modules. All of these are about who published the module, so let us skip all these and proceed to this. So for our module 1, guys, this is our objective. So this module encourages you to differentiate language use in academic text from various disciplines. Different activities are provided that will help you gain knowledge and understanding of the topic given. So for our objective, we will be focusing on these 4 objectives. At the end of this module, you are expected to first define academic writing. Here, differentiate language in academic text from various disciplines. Identify the purpose, language, audience, and style of academic text. And write a specific academic text with correct usage of language. So all these are what we are expecting to have or to learn in this module. So first, let us answer this pre-test in what I know. It is 15 items with multiple choice. Let's just read the directions first. Read the following questions and choose the letter of the correct answer. Write your answers on the space before each number. So please get a one-whole sheet of paper and answer these 15 items. You may pause the video for you to answer the test with more time. Okay, now let us check if your answers are correct. Okay, for the first item, when you write an academic paper, what point of view will you use? The answer is C. It's the third person point of view. Okay, second item, what kind of language should be used in writing academic text? The answer is B. Formal language. Third item, what is the meaning of layman's term? The answer is B. Words that are easy to understand. Fourth item, the following are examples of academic text except. The answer is C, because short stories are not academic texts. Fifth item, which of the following elements deals with the writer's goal in writing a text? The answer is B. Purpose. Of course, the purpose will be the goal of the writer. Let's go to the next items, beginning with item 6. Item 6 is, what feature of language requires the writer not to include personal emotions in the text? The answer is C. Objectivity. Okay, seventh item. What feature of language requires the writer to be careful on writing? The answer is, from the word A, caution. Eighth item. How do you determine your language when you write an academic paper? The answer is B. Consider your audience. Later you'll find out why. Ninth item. What does to persuade mean in academic writing? The answer is B. To let the audience believe in the author. 10th item. Which of the following deals with the way the writer organized a text? The answer is C. Style. 11. It refers to your dignified stance in writing as a member of an academic community. The answer is B. Formality. 12. In this feature of language, written language should not be personal. The answer is C. 13. The author in this writing style is explaining a concept. The answer is A. 14th, the author in this kind of writing style is convincing the reader to believe in his or her position or belief in writing. Answer is C. And finally, item 15. What kind of description should be used in descriptive writing style? The answer is A.
Please say a formula.
Okay. Now please count your score and kindly write your score on top of that activity. But don't worry guys, since this is a pretest, it is recorded but not graded. Now let's go to what's in. So we will be reviewing what you know about this. So here, as a student, you experience to write various kinds of writing. From your primary years until today, you became familiar with the different formats and styles in writing. In this activity, try to remember the kinds of writing you have written in your previous studies. So all you have to do is to put a check. But since we cannot answer on your module, guys, I want you to write on your whole sheet of paper what's new. Kindly write what's new. And then list in there which among these academic writing are familiar with you. So if you're familiar with an essay, then write essay. If you're familiar with a diary, write diary. And whichever of these. Don't worry guys, it's not important of how much of these you know. Just list there which of these are familiar to you. Okay, now let's go to the next part. In this part, here you're going to answer and this will be graded now. So we have here 10 jumbled words and all you have to do is to arrange them properly. Okay, so unscramble the letters to form new word or words. Write your answer in the space after each item. So on your one whole sheet of paper again, right there, 1 to 10. And then all you have to do is to arrange these letters to form the correct words. Okay, you may pause the video for answering these items. Okay. Okay. Now, let's check your answers. For item 1, the answer is, I will no longer be writing here the answer. So, listen carefully. So, for item 1, the answer is academic writing. Item 2 is subject. Item 3 is tone. Fourth is purpose. Fifth is language. Item 6 is audience. Item 7 is point of view. Item 8 is style. Item 9 is knowledge. Guys, be careful with the spelling, okay? Item 10 is explicit. Count the number of your correct answers and then write it on top again of the activity. Now let's go to what is it. In this portion of your module, guys, we are going to discuss already the lesson of this module. So our topic here is language used in academic texts from various disciplines. So basically, guys, in this lesson, we'll be focusing on language. So what is the language being used when we write academic texts? Okay, so let's begin. Writing is one of the 4 macro skills. Okay, again, 4 macro skills that the student should possess. It is one of the media. When we say media, means or ways of communication. It is one way of communicating. So we have 4 macro skills. We have writing, speaking, listening, and reading. Okay? But writing is one of the media, meaning one of the ways of communicating in order for us to pass information to other people. One of these writings that a student should know is academic writing. So we will be focusing here on academic writing and language per se. Okay? So, in this module, you as a student will learn academic writing and the language that should be used in writing academic text. So before we begin discussing the language used in academic text, let's first define key terms which you will be meeting along this module. So let's begin by defining academic writing. So academic writing here, academic writing is a kind of writing that can be used in academia or school. So simply put, academic writings or academic texts are those texts which we use in school. So the newspaper, the books, the articles, all of those belong to academic text or academic writing. Okay, and then we have first, subject. Subject pertains to the topic of the text. Okay, that is why when we were being taught of how to make sentences, we are taught of subject and predicate. And then subject means the topic of the sentence. So it's the same with this. The subject pertains to the topic of the text. What is the topic all about? What is the text all about? Okay? Then we have the second one, which is tone. Tone pertains to the attitude of the writer about the text. It can be distinguished through the words used by the author. So simply put, guys, tone is about attitude. What is the attitude of the writer about the topic? Is the writer mad? Is he angry? Is the writer sad? So it's all about the attitude of the writer about the topic. How do you think does the writer feel about the topic? Okay? Then third, we have purpose. So for purpose, it is the information that an author wants to imply to the reader. So what is the purpose of the writer? Is the writer trying to just give us information about the topic, or is the writer trying to convince us to believe in his beliefs? So it's about his purpose, the goals of the writer, why he or she wrote that text. And then we have language. Language are the words used by the author in writing an academic text. Academic writing requires formal language. So when we write, we sometimes observe whether we are writing for formally or informally. So as says here, when you are writing academic text, you should observe the use of formal language. Of course, because these are texts, as we said, which are used in school. So therefore, the language must be formal, appropriate for school. Okay? The next one is audience. When we talk about shows or speeches, we refer to audience as the listeners. But in writing, the audience pertains to the reader. Who will be reading text? Will this be students, teachers, professors, children? So the audience simply means who will be reading the text, the readers. And then we have the point of view. The point of view refers to how the writer tells the information in the reading text. An academic text always is in the third person point of view. You might remember that during your previous years, guys, your teachers in English taught you different points of view in writing. We have the first person point of view, the second person point of view, and the third person point of view. So just to give you a recall, the first person point of view simply means that you are using pronouns which are I, me, myself, us, and we. For example, I want to eat barbecue. Okay? And then we have the second person point of view, which means you are using pronouns referring to the person you are talking to, which are you. For example, we'll say, you want to eat barbecue. So it's no longer you, but the person you're talking to. Okay? And then finally, we have the third person point of view, which is about another person. Not about you, not about the person you're talking to, but about someone else. Okay? Example, she wants to eat barbecue. So you would notice that it's no longer about you, it's no longer about the person you're talking to, but it's about someone else now. Okay? And again, in writing academic texts, we use the third person point of view. Therefore, you cannot say, or you cannot write you, and you cannot write I, we, or whatsoever. Okay? Then we have style. So the style simply refers to how an author arranges his or her writing, meaning it's about technique. It's about the technique of the writer, how he or she writes. As basic as that. Okay? We know that writers have their own styles. Then we have knowledge. So from the word knowledge, it's the amount of information that an author knows about his or her topic. It says here that the reader is the one who can distinguish how much knowledge an author has in the topic he or she is writing. Of course, as a reader, when you read a text, you can identify how much the writer knows about the topic. So, as basic as that. And then finally, we have explicit. Explicit means that the information should be precise and clear, meaning the information is direct to the point. Okay? You get that? As simple as that. Explicit means the information is precise and clear. It's exact. It's direct to the point. Now, let's dig in further with academic writing. It says here that academic writing is a kind of writing that can be used in academia or school. So we have passed through that a while ago. It's being used in schools. As simple as that. It has a process that starts with posing a question, conceptualizing a problem, evaluating an opinion, and ends in answering a question posed, clarifying a problem, or arguing for a stand. So basically, it talks about why we are writing academic writing. So the specific purposes of academic writing are to inform, to persuade, to persuade, and to argue that address specific audience or the teacher. Okay? Now, if you're being confused about these purposes, it simply means that when we write academic writing or academic text, it's either first, you try to inform. So when we try to inform, it simply means that we supplement a lot of information about a topic. So we're just giving a lot of information or facts about the topic. Then, another purpose of academic text is to persuade. Persuade simply means to... Sorry, I cannot write here properly.